Welcome to another episode of Denise Cooks for Diabetics. Today I'm going to be baking one of my new favorite desserts, almond bread. Now, I was fooled in the beginning, kind of, because I thought this was like bread, but it's really not. It's more like if you're making banana bread or zucchini bread or pumpkin bread. It's kind of like that. So now I call it almond loaf cake. And I make it's spiced. And I will show you. So I have here 3 cups of almond flour. So this dessert is carb free, which is awesome when you're a diabetic, especially if it means you're eating a dessert. I like King Arthur almond flour. The only reason I use this is because my dear old friend, sorry I said old friend, my dear friend, longtime friend, uses this and she recommended it to me. Basically what it is very, very finely ground almonds. So that's 3 cups. 4 eggs, I have them already cracked here. 1 stick of butter. Now if you don't want to have the butter, you can try vegetable oil. And if you don't want the whole eggs, use maybe 6 egg whites, probably be the equivalent. 1/2 cup of milk. I have whole milk. You want to make it skim milk, that's fine as well. Baking soda, this you're going to have to add regardless or it's not going to come out like a cake. Okay, I'm going to add all my dry ingredients first. Baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Measure that out. I'm going to have all my seasonings and my baking powder in this little glass bowl. 1 teaspoon of salt. You know what? Last time I did this 1 teaspoon, I think it was too salty. I'm going to go for 1/2 teaspoon of salt this time. Maybe a little bit high, not quite level. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Because my butter has salt in it. I think that's probably was the reason. Okay. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I really like cinnamon. So that's how I like to spice it. You could really, use your own interpretation. If you don't like one of these spices, don't add it. Okay, there's my tablespoon of cinnamon. And cinnamon, as you know, is very good in lowering your glucose, your blood sugar. Nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. This is one of my favorite desserts, my favorite things to eat, because it is guilt-free for me, guilt-free. And when you're a diabetic, you want to eat healthy and also, of course, enjoy it as well. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon ginger. Now also, I don't happen to have it, but if you have allspice, I would probably put a tablespoon of allspice and see if you like that. And then maybe still add some cinnamon as well. So 1/4 teaspoon ginger. Then now we have to sweeten it. This is Splenda. My little handy jar of Splenda here. 5 tablespoons of Splenda. Okay? Don't forget, there's a lot of servings in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't like it that sweet, add 4. I actually was adding 4 for a while, and I feel I want a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to try it with 5 this time. So 4 to 5. Okay. Give that a little stir. All right. Now to my eggs, because that's my wet ingredients, whoopsies. To my eggs, I'm going to add the vanilla. 1 teaspoon vanilla. And I'll just beat that up with the eggs. Here we go. Okay. We have all our ingredients. Preheat the oven, 350. Okay. Now I melted the butter a little bit in the microwave because I just didn't take it out early enough. But it's nice and creamy, as you can see. It's nice and melted and creamy. Okay, so I'm going to beat my eggs. I think I'll use my whisk here. Okay, got a nice beat. I'm going to add the milk. Stir it in slowly. Okay. Our little kitty cat is meowing. I think she's hungry. Not for almond bread, though. Right, Mooney? Okay. Alrighty. Going to add the dry to the almond flour. Give it a little bit of mix. Hands are clean. Okay. Now my butter is room temperature, a little bit warm, but it's okay. You don't want to add hot butter to your eggs or you're going to scramble your eggs, so you don't want to do that. It's nice and once again, if you have a problem with saturated fat, then 1 stick of butter, you add whatever that equivalent is of oil. Okay. She's a very insistent girl, our kitty cat. Okay, scramble that up in there. Slowly add my almond. Now, I don't have a food processor or a bread machine or whatever, so basically I mix things by hand, and it's totally fine. Comes out totally fine. It's basically like a cake batter. Oh, it smells so nice and spicy. Now you could also add pumpkin to this. You could add cut up apple as well. It would be delicious. A nice mix. It's very thick, extremely thick. Sometimes this is my afternoon tea. I'll have a piece of this cake toasted, which I'm going to show you in a minute, with some tea, and it really could actually be my lunch, and it is sometime because it's so much protein. It's like eating a handful of almonds, of course with the eggs as well. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm going to do a little cooking spray on my nonstick pan, my nonstick loaf pan. Get around the corners. Okay, just checking to make sure I've got everything in there, and I do. Oh, one other thing. If you don't have allspice, you can also add some cloves. I actually forgot that I knew I had to order cloves, but then when I made my order, I ordered nutmeg by mistake, which I already had. So now I have 2 nutmegs and no cloves, so next time I'll get the cloves. Okay. Mmm. Delicious. Very thick batter, as you can see. Okay. I'm going to put it into my loaf pan without getting myself too messy. It's really super thick. Okay, oh, that's good. You need to give it a little bit of a smoothing out because, like I said, it is so thick. Give it a little tap, tap, tap. There you go. Put it in the oven. 350 for 40 minutes. It's pretty dense. So what I want to show you while that's cooking is the almond bread the way I like to eat it. This is left over from last week when I made it. Actually, sometimes this almond bread will last me 2 or 3 weeks, and it does last. So what I do is I take a nice healthy slice and I toast it in the oven. And perhaps it makes it nice and crunchy and gives it a really good consistency. Now, of course, I toast it a lot because this is the way I like it. Some days, if I want extra protein, I'll add some almond butter, cashew butter, peanut butter, or some days if I think it's a little bit too dry, I'll add a little bit more butter. And it's really, really tasty. This is my favorite way of eating it, like this. Really delicious. Okay, we'll see you in 40 minutes. Hello again. Our almond bread is baked. Cool enough for me to take it out of the pan. Comes out nice and easy. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. I loosen it up a little bit around. I do that first, so it's easy to come out. Here we go. There we go. Ooh. There it is. Okay. It's beautiful. Cooked very nicely. I'll cut a little piece so you can see how it looks when it's fresh out of the oven. Soft, a little crumbly. Smells so good. You can smell all the spices in it and the butteriness. Now, like I said earlier, I like to cook this in the toaster oven. I take one piece, I put it in the toaster oven, and it comes out nice and browned like this. This is the way I like to eat it. And then I'll top it with something I want to. Today I'm just going to eat it plain. And I'm going to enjoy it right now with a cup of coffee. Okay, almond bread. Until next time, eat well, be well. Bye-bye.